Hey guys, JB here from Alpha Consulting, coming to you today with the next lesson, which is my thesis on self belief. So, to understand this is just to understand throughout my life, self belief has been one of the biggest things I've ever struggled with. Validating other people's opinions before my own, not believing in myself, not having confidence, not feeling worthy or valuable within myself has been something that I've struggled with my entire life. So, to understand self belief is just to understand that, like every other aspect of the self or the ideal self belief doesn't exist. It's not something tangible that I can touch and feel and say, this is what it is. Okay. But if we understand that belief is just thought on repetition to where it becomes a self truth, okay, or a truth to me. So at any moment in time, I can pick and choose what I want to believe in life through conditioned conscious direction. So through me consciously running narratives again and again and again and again over a 90-day time frame, I can create new beliefs in whatever I want. So that's one of the amazing things about it is that we are able to shift and change how I view myself, the belief I have within myself about myself, or the beliefs I have created to whatever I want in life. I am free to discard the negative, self-limiting, beliefs of the past and empower myself with new positive self-belief, new beliefs, new narratives, and all of this. So if we understand this as self-belief or belief in general is just thoughts, it's narratives, it's thoughts, it's meaning. When someone cheats me, okay, I can say, oh, everyone always cheats me. I always get cheated. That is a negative belief because now moving forward in life, I am running every time I think about, you know, going into business with someone, I'm thinking about they only ever cheat me. People only ever cheat me. And this is what I'm thinking in the narrative that's running. So we're able to reprogram that through the language and the language patterns, the narratives, the stories, and the meanings we give to every circumstance and situation and relationship in our life. So to understand self-belief is just to understand that when we're talking about belief in general, we're just talking about belief in general terminology. So, belief that, I believe the sky is blue. Okay. Whereas with self belief, when I feel self doubt, it's that I believe that I am someone who can do this. Okay. So we just got to understand that when we're talking about self belief, it's all about the self. Okay. So we're not worried too much about, I have self belief that the sky is blue. It doesn't exist. It's illogical and irrelevant to think like that because the sky holds no meaning to self. Do you sort of see? So, what we want to do is we want to understand well, what are these these feelings that I have? So, when I am trying to do something and I feel insecure about myself, what is it that is making me feel insecure? Why am I feeling insecure? Okay, what is instigating or causing me to feel insecure? And then when I feel insecure, I run a positive language pattern or narrative to make myself feel secure within myself. And I do that every time, okay, for 90 days consciously. So when I say consciously, what I mean is that when I feel insecure about myself, I stop what I'm doing, I cease all negative thoughts, And then I consciously redirect with a language pattern or a narrative or a story or meaning that I have decided I want to instill in myself. And every time I feel insecure, I run that language pattern, that narrative. So I might feel insecure about, let's say we're doing weight training and I feel insecure about my muscles and my strength. Okay. Every time I feel insecure, I will have a positive language pattern or a positive narrative of, well, if I just do this day in, day out, every day I get stronger. 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 And I keep running that until I start to feel good about myself. And then that ceases. Okay. And then we continue moving forward. And then when that insecurity comes back, I rerun. Every day I'm getting stronger. Every day I'm getting stronger. Every day I'm getting stronger until I feel the emotional shift. Because what we want to understand is that by me repeating that language pattern, I'm conditioning it into my mind, my subconscious mind, because all my subconscious mind, while I'm running this program, is hearing is every day I get stronger, every day I get stronger, every day I get stronger, every day I get stronger. And then that sort of runs and runs and runs and runs, even when I'm not thinking about it. And then as I start to get stronger from conditioned in behaviors of taking the activity or the actions required, so lifting the weights, that mantra keeps running. And that mantra gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And then what happens is that mantra becomes a universal truth to me that I know if I lift weights, every day I get stronger. There's no ifs, buts, or maybes. Regardless of how I feel in any moment, every day I get stronger when I lift weights. That's that. That's how a belief is. So a thought is something that we think on occasion. A belief is something that we have repetitively thought again and again and again until it just becomes an undeniable truth to me. And just remember, truth holds no meaning external to me. So if other people don't believe that lifting weights, every day I lift weights, I get stronger, good for them. It holds no relevance to me because we're talking about the internal. When we have self belief, it's about the internal. So anything with self is about the internal. It holds no relevance in the external. In the context that I don't need external validation to feel and know it to be true, right? Because that's the problem. If I am trying to validate my self belief externally and get other people to validate me, as to come up to me every day and say, you're getting stronger. You're getting stronger. Every day you lift weights, you get stronger. Like it's not going to happen. So the thing is I have to take control of that. And regardless of the external environment, that has to be an internal narrative. Okay. So do you see the separation that when I'm internal, the external environment doesn't matter? It's irrelevant what other people say or think, because while their opinions are valid to them, they are not valid to me because I do not validate their opinion in my own life. I only validate my opinion in my own life. And that's what's so beautiful about the self validation course, the one that goes before the self-belief course, is that it builds up on this. So self-belief builds upon self-validation, because once I know how to validate my thoughts and feelings and beliefs and truths in life, then when I'm trying to condition in new positive beliefs, I understand that it is irrelevant what the external environment or what others say, because this is just an internal game. All right. So that's an important aspect of it, is that we're just trying to condition in positive beliefs and positive narratives and language patterns, okay, and reprogramming them over or overriding them over negative beliefs or negative narratives or negative language patterns or negative meaning. And after a while of us doing this day in and day out, it becomes a subconscious routine to where when I have that feeling of insecurity, my subconscious mind will run that narrative or program. So it's sort of like muscle memory. So if I'm doing push-ups, push-ups, push-ups. So let's say I'm every time I hear a beep, okay? I condition myself to do 10 push-ups every time I hear a beep. And I run this program for 90 days. Every time I hear a beep outside of my training, okay, that is on the same pitch and frequency as the beep that I have been doing in my training, before I even recognize it, I will be down doing push-ups because I've conditioned my subconscious mind to when you hear that beep, 10 push-ups. 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 Do you see? So what we are trying to do is we are trying to condition. So when I say condition, what we are doing is we are conditioning in a response to a stimuli. So when I feel insecure about myself, the conditioned response is to help myself feel secure about myself through narrative and language and meaning and language patterns. Do you see? So at a certain point in time, from me running this program, it will feel unnatural for me to feel insecure about myself and not make myself feel secure. So I am never going to fall into that trap where I start to feel insecure about myself and then I tear myself down. Because of a lot of us throughout life and throughout my life, this was what happened. From the time, I was around 4 to the time I was around 28, my behaviors and my beliefs and my thoughts were all conditioned by my external environment, by society, and by those around me. So I had no control because I had not taken conscious control. So that's where conscious awareness comes into play. When I feel insecure and I feel negative or I feel lack or I feel self-doubt, I have to consciously direct the program that I want for the duration that is needed. And over time, my subconscious mind measures and tracks when one thing happens. So when a stimuli happens, this is the program that runs, and this is the duration that program runs. So that's why I say that when I feel insecure, I repeat the positive mantra, the positive language, the language patterns, the narrative, and all of this until there is an emotional shift or an emotional change. Because I'm training my subconscious mind that we do this until we feel good. And when we feel good, we progress forward. Do you see? So understanding that is just understanding that we are just retraining our brain, our subconscious mind to, instead of when I feel negative about myself, I tear myself down, to when I feel negative about myself, I build myself up. And that's an important aspect because when we have conditioned that in, it feels unnatural for me to do anything but build myself up when I feel insecure about myself. And that's where the power comes from, because then it shifts from being a conscious awareness activity to a subconscious routine that automatically runs when the environmental stimuli or the environmental changes happen that cause me to feel insecure within myself or to feel negative or self-doubt. Do you see? So that is the important thing, is we're just understanding that self-belief is just self-thought on repeat. So when I feel a certain way about myself, I create new thoughts to redirect my attention and my awareness to focusing on something that is empowering and positive, opposed to negative and disempowering. Do you see? All right. Well, I hope you understand a little bit more about it. And essentially, throughout this course, we're just going to keep going over it and over it and over it again until it takes root. And once it takes root, you will understand what I mean by it just becomes who you are. It becomes you. So when I am someone who always empowers myself, I become an empowerer to myself, because every time I feel disempowered, it is my obligation to empower myself. Do you see? All right. Well, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.